Nobody saw this coming. Not the experts, not the odds makers, not even the packed crowd sitting inside Manola Santana Stadium that Tuesday in Madrid. Listen to this. Alex stepped onto that court as a wild card, just 20 years old, out of Manila, carrying a serve the tennis world had already doubted, and across the net stood a player who had given birth, dropped to 421 in the rankings, and somehow battled all the way back to number 11. That's not just a hard matchup. Hold up, that's the universe putting you through a real test. And honestly, the opening set made it look like the universe was in full control. But then something flipped, something broke wide open, and exactly 2 hours and 27 minutes later, Alex was down on her knees on that Madrid clay, both hands pressed into the dirt, tears pouring while the entire stadium stood up in disbelief. So yeah, we need to talk about what really happened, because the scoreboard barely tells the story. Belinda Bencic isn't just a player. She's one of the wildest comeback stories tennis has ever seen. She stepped away after giving birth to her daughter, Belle, in April 2024, came back just 6 months later ranked 421 in the world, and rebuilt everything step by step, match by match. By the time Madrid rolled around, she was already back at number 11, looking like she never left, coming in fresh off a United Cup win for Switzerland and a deep run at Indian Wells. She didn't just return, she came back sharper, more composed, and honestly, more dangerous than ever. Her footwork, flawless. Her ability to take the pace and redirect it, almost surgical, like she was dissecting rallies. And in Madrid's altitude, where the thinner air sends the ball flying and kills some of that topspin bite, her style was basically built for those exact conditions. Step inside the baseline, take the ball early, and control everything without needing to overpower anyone. She was the clear favorite, no question about it. Alex, meanwhile, came in on a wild card with a 2024 clay record of just 1 win and 2 losses. She had just been taken apart by Eala Fernandez in Stuttgart, 6-1, 6-4, and it wasn't even close. Before that, she lost to Ostapenko as well. And her serve? Yeah, that long-standing weakness since turning pro was still a major issue. Barely producing aces, first serve percentages dropping under 60%, and double faults stacking up in a way that would keep any coach up at night. On paper, this matchup looked finished before it even started, and the first set, it followed that exact script. Alex almost gave it away. 3 double faults in the first 4 games, a break handed over on a serve that barely clipped the net, and Bencic just cruised through 6-3 like she wasn't even out of second gear.
She didn't rush anything. She stayed back, observed, let Alex slowly fall apart, calm, controlled, and honestly, deadly. But hold up. This is where something quietly important started to unfold, something almost no one in that stadium caught in real time. Because when you take a set, mainly because your opponent is self-destructing, there's a hidden trap sitting right there. You stop playing your own game. You begin seeing everything through their errors instead of the strength of your own system. And Belincic's positioning in that first set? It was just a bit deeper than what she normally prefers. She was absorbing, waiting, completely fine letting Alex collapse on her own. And yeah, it worked perfectly for about 35 minutes. But here's the catch. She never fully stepped into that aggressive, inside the baseline style that had powered her all season. She was winning on Alex's terms, and that's risky because it only takes one adjustment to flip everything upside down. And that exact shift? It showed up right at the start of the second set, and it came straight from Alex's return game. Now listen carefully, because this right here is the tactical turning point of the entire match. Yes, Alex's serve is a real issue. We're not ignoring that. At 1.75 meters, she doesn't have that natural height advantage that bigger players use to generate easy power. Her ball toss isn't always stable. Her second serve sits up way too comfortably. These are real flaws, no sugarcoating it. But here's what people keep missing every single time they talk about her serve. That weakness comes with the flip side, a return game that most players on tour would do anything to have. She reads the serve direction before contact is even made. Her lefty forehand creates sharp angles on returns that right-handed players just can't replicate from that same spot. She steps in early, takes the ball on the rise with a tight, explosive swing that kills pace and instantly puts the server under pressure before the rally even properly begins. She's been training at the Rafa Nadal Academy since she was 13. And listen, Rafa Nadal built one of the greatest careers ever around a simple idea, that the serve, which is supposed to be your biggest weapon, can actually become your biggest source of pressure. Alex didn't just study that mindset, she became it. And in the second set, everything changed. She started going after Belincic's second serve with a level of intensity and accuracy that just wasn't there before. 2 full steps inside the baseline, returns hammered deep into Belincic's backhand over and over, point after point, game after game, and suddenly, this wasn't just pressure, it was building into a serious problem. Now here's the detail. Belincic's backhand is her safer side, but not the one she uses to attack. When she's pushed deep and wide there, her instinct is to stay controlled, go cross-court, reset the rally instead of finishing it.
That creates a pattern, a slow, calculated geometry that keeps dragging the server further out of position until something finally snaps. The break came in the 5th game. Bencic serving, Alex fires a deep return to the backhand. Bencic replies safe, cross-court, and boom, Alex runs around, unloads a forehand inside out, and plants it clean on the baseline. You could literally see the shift happen right there. Bencic's body language changed. She started bouncing the ball longer before serving, glancing toward her box, forcing bigger first serves, trying to overpower the situation instead of solving it. And listen, that mindset, that urgency, that pressure to fix things fast, that's exactly what Alex's game is designed to trigger. Because once a server starts pressing, the margins shrink, and that's when double faults creep in. Bencic hit 2 in the 7th game alone. Alex takes the second set 6-4, and just like that, this match feels completely different. The third set? A whole different story. Messy, intense, raw. The kind of tension you only get when both players know exactly what's at stake. For Bencic, losing to an unseeded wildcard on clay would crack the momentum she's been building all season. For Alex, beating a top 15 player on her weakest surface would flip the entire narrative around her career. And those stakes, they didn't create safe tennis, they created chaos. 4 breaks of serve in the first 6 games. Alex breaks, Bencic breaks back. Alex breaks again, Bencic answers again. It felt unpredictable, almost out of control, because neither player had a serve strong enough to stabilize things. Alex's first serve percentage dropped to 51%, Bencic sat at 54%. Both were leaking points, and now it came down to who could handle the damage better under pressure. And in matches like this, tiny advantages suddenly mean everything. Alex has been on these Madrid courts before. She understands how this clay plays, faster than Rome or Roland Garros, with that low skid that punishes late positioning. She knows the tricky afternoon winds swirling through the open roof at Calle Mágica. She knows how the shadows stretch across the baseline as the sun drops. Madrid has never been easy for her, but it's the kind of discomfort she already understands. And in a match where neither player could consistently hold serve, that kind of comfort with the conditions became a hidden advantage you won't see on any stat sheet. The turning point hit in the 9th game, Bencic serving at 4-5, trying to stay alive and shift the pressure back onto Alex to close it out. It turned into a long, exhausting battle, momentum swinging back and forth every few points. Bencic even saved one breakpoint with the fastest serve of the entire match, 172 kilometers per hour. For a second, it really felt like she might escape, but then, hold up, she double faulted, handing Alex another chance. This time, Alex sliced a low return that skidded off the clay and stayed uncomfortably low, completely out of Bencic's strike zone. The Swiss star bent down and tried to lift a forehand from way below her knees, almost scraping it from the ground.